practice that self-governance, and we would not need a controlling government to control us. We would be self-controlling, and that's one of those fruits. Remember, self-control. So we have, as we have walked further and further away from the precious promises of God as a nation, as we have walked further and further away from His teachings about our own duty as Christians, we find our nation in a terrible fix. And that fix has come because our light hasn't so shone before men that they could see our good works and glorify our Father in heaven. We have stepped aside in some ways into our churches instead of stepping out into the world, into the arena, and sharing our ideas and sharing what makes us faithful, what keeps us from fearing and doubting and worrying and trying to figure things out. We've stepped back from that, and I think we have a real call as a nation and as a church now to step out and to begin to share what it is that's going to take to heal our land. We're told, and it's a promise, in 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called by my name, us, that's us here in this church, will humble ourselves and pray, seek His face, turn from our wicked ways. And we do have some things that we need to be confessing. I confess that we are a nation who has killed our children. I confess that we are a nation who has walked away from the family and allowed divorce even among our ranks. We have walked away from the biblical definition of marriage. One man, one woman, the two become one flesh. We as a nation have been walking away from our constitutional freedom and relying on government instead to take care of the widow and the orphan. Isn't that what He says? True religion and undefiled before God is that you care for the widow and the orphan. Isn't that the poor and needy among us? And yet we're saying, well, the government, we have all these programs now, aid for families with dependent children and Medicare and Social Security, and that's fine. But isn't it we that should be thinking about this? Isn't it us that should be caring in our community for those that the Lord has called us to? Didn't He say, you honor Him, you love Him, if you've cared for these, the least among you? So we do have a lot of wicked ways that we can confess as a church. And I think that's what He's calling us to now. As if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Here it comes. Then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal their land. What a great God He is. He keeps His promises. He gives them to us. He keeps His promises, and He never discourages us. I don't know how encouraged you are, but people say to me all the time, Sharon, you smile all the time. How come? It's because I know what Ronald Reagan knew. We, as a nation, are a city shining on that hill. We are